A storm is coming.
We are only 8 days away from the biggest mania and the biggest stand and deliver in WWE history. And it's going to be the biggest 2 weeks in all of the Three Bells podcasts. Happy Good Friday, everyone. And for those of you who are celebrating, happy B-Day. For this is the Three Bells podcast. It's me, your homie Shane O'Mac, coming to you live from the East New York section of the table. But I'm never here alone. Sitting right next to me is the man himself. It's Mr. Mundo, a.k.a. Mr. A.K.A. and maybe Mr. Desk Taker, depending on how well I behave myself. Good evening, Mr. Mundo.
Yeah. Yeah. What's good? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mundo, a.k.a. Mr. A.K.A. himself, channeling in my inner Stephen A. Smith, as I always do every Friday. What's going on, fellas? How are you doing today? Salutations. What up, Jay?
What's going on, everybody? Triple J is now in yo city, live on stereo. What's good, fellas? We getting it on. We 8 days away. I'm too hype. Let's get it.
Mundo's here. Triple J is here. Shane O'Mac is here. And all of you out there are here tonight on this Friday's edition of Three Bells. Well, this should not come as a surprise as the style of a program that we had tonight on Smackdown. It was basically adding layers to the cakes that has already been created, aka storylines of particular beefs and fights and duels, which would conclude or maybe continue after Mania. So we're going to jump right into it because we have a lot to talk about, because SmackDown had a lot to talk about. There was only 4 matches total tonight with a whole bunch of clips, which we're going to talk about. But let's jump right into the ring first. Let's just go right into the ring. I mean, yes, we had all of these promos and look back into the spectacular Raw episode that we just had, which was hosted by our guy, Mr. Mundo. We're going to talk about that in a minute, trust me. But let's get into the ring. We have Randy Orton teaming up with Kevin Owens versus Pretty Deadly. Now, for those of you who remember, Pretty Deadly, they was basically talking smack, and they was talking to Kevin Owens, and they had a match. But they was like, well, who's going to team up with you? And here comes Randy Orton. Hey, Randy, you want to be part of this team? Yeah, sure. So as they walk off, Pretty Deadly was standing side by side, and here comes that good old Kevin Owens jab right to the kisses, knocking them both out, which leads to us in this ring today. A couple of things that I noticed. First off, it was a very slow intro. It was obvious that they took their time. All 4 individuals took their sweet time getting into the ring. And I like how Pretty Deadly had a disco ball that spun over the ring. At first, I thought it was a graphic, but then when I saw the lights shine on the ball and then see the reflection actually hit the audience, and then Kevin Owens himself looked up at it and pointed to it. So I knew that it was really there. I thought that was pretty cool. A lot went down on this match, so I'm just going to let the fellas talk about it. Des, we're going to start with you, and then Jay to follow in terms of what you saw and your thoughts on match number 1. Des?
Right off rip, I'm like, damn, we just cannot get this table to break tonight, huh? We had so many attempts and tries to get that table to break, but we just couldn't get it. Pretty Deadly. It was hilarious with the fact that they were, they did Randy's own move on him outside the ring. He lifted him up and put him into the announce desk. I thought Randy was going to actually sell that the whole back thing a little bit more after that because of his back injury, but guess not. Corey got knocked over though. That was funny that they showed that. It's not too much from this match. I mean, like you said, it was a slow delivery to get to the ring, so that took time. And then it wasn't really too much going on that I didn't even get a chance to really write anything down. But I'm sure Jay saw stuff that I didn't see, or he took notes on certain things that I didn't think to take notes on. But yeah, so we get towards the end of the match, and for some reason the referee decides to take his ass outside the ring and try to bring in one of the guys from Pretty Deadly instead of just counting the motherfucker out. Like, I was just like, what are you doing, ref? Like, why would you go out the ring instead of doing your job and counting him out? So while the ref does that, this individual comes from under the ring. At first, I was like, who the fuck is this? It didn't dawn on me to think that it would be Logan Paul, but again, this is WrestleMania season, so everybody's showing up to work every day, at least every day, Roman. But yeah, and he turns KO around and KO's KO with the brass knucks. These same brass knucks that we've been talking about since his match with Ricochet all those months ago. So they've been a part of this story for so long. So yeah, he knocks him out. The dude from Pretty Deadly just happens to see it and get his ass back in the ring with the referee. I'm like, ref, you didn't find it funny that this motherfucker's knocked out on the floor? Because when you left the ring, he was standing up in the ring. So yeah, so he counts to 3, and they lose. Pretty Deadly runs out of the ring with the referee. The ref, this ref was sticking it pretty deadly tonight. What's his name? Randy gets back into the ring and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck, man? What the fuck was that?" KO is like on Dream Street. He's like, what? He's like, "What the fuck is that? Like, what did you do?" So we all get the replay at home, and for once they actually use the damn Titantron to show something, and they're showing the replay on the Titantron, and Randy's looking at it and he's like, "Oh, that's what happened." And he's like, "Oh, my bad, KO." And then he's like, "Oh, this dude ran under the ring." So he's looking around. It's like, he should still be under the ring then. So he gets down there and he pulls up the ring apron, and there's Logan Paul right there. He pulls him out, hits him a good few times, and he's about to take him to a RKO town, and then here comes Pretty Deadly again. And yeah, Jay, you can take it from there, but also mention what other stuff that you saw throughout the match.
Well, my notes are probably shorter than yours because you hit a lot of facts within this match. But from what I noticed, um, basically like they really came out quick and gunning as far as with Kevin Owens and Randy in this match. And you know within this match that Pretty Deadly had, I would say this is good for them to be testing the waters, fighting top guys. This is what I like to see when, especially like these guys, they're still fresh to a lot of people, and the only way to get them out there is through the veterans, and it was good help, a good win, even though it was dirty. You know, I kind of had a feeling Yes Boys were gonna win, and at the same time, I thought that shit was hilarious when they went and got um Logan from under the ring, and mayhem happened after that. I love the stunner, love the RKO. That shit was fire when they did that little combo together. And what I'll say, what I'll say is, when they let them, when they let him to go backstage, when Logan was did a little flinch, like if he was Hood, he did a little and Randy chased him out, KO chased him out, and then in the back, he pushes out some guy out the way dressed up and gets into the car and dips. What a coward, bro! Like, damn, Logan, these guys are gonna literally beat your ass when they see you at Mania. You're gonna be the odd man out more than likely in this match. So you better be Mr. Nice Guy when it comes to Mania in 2 weeks. If not, that belt is gone, my boy. And also, I like to say is, I want this tag team to stick with Randy and Kevin. I'm down for them getting a little title run down the line. Let's make that happen.
Jay, um, so that means you want them to lose then. In order for them to be a tag team, they got to lose. So do you think that they'll be cool with losing and then still sticking together as a tag team?
Quite possibly, I could see something like that happening. You
But
know,
do you want another run with Randy as a tag team? I mean, his last run was as a tag team with Riddle.
this one with Kevin Owens, this shit looks kind of dope because they both got similar finishes, and the way that it just happens, the stunner leads to the RKO. The fans are gonna want to see that shit because like when Stone Cold used to stun people, and the bounce back up, and then that shit is fire because then now you're getting RKO'd behind it. So I think that
So
just makes it even more explosive.
so again, you don't want to see Randy Orton in singles run. You want him to be tagged up again.
Well, I would rather him have the singles run before his career ends because as they've been saying, he's gonna stay a little bit longer. So enjoy this tag run with Kevin Owens. Y'all look good together.
Shane, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, have you been noticing, like I've noticed in the last few weeks, that we don't really see anybody entrances anymore? All that stuff usually now goes into commercials. Do you like that, or do you think that's something that's sacred and needs to be seen by the home audience?
Well, it's pretty much comes down to do we want to see these commercials at that time, or do we want to move the commercial slots down so that we can see the full entrance? However, you're going to have more commercials during the match. So I would prefer to see the one commercial like in the middle of the entrance and then one commercial in the middle of a match rather than to see a full intro and then see two commercials during the match to interrupt the match, especially when we are so focused on it. And then it gets so carried away. It's to a point. I don't know if you guys, and I know you guys probably have that sense, but you can sense when the commercial is about to hit because you can feel it, and then you hear the announcers, like one of the announcers, they will say something that always leads into a commercial. Am I the only one that feels that? That's Jay.
It usually ends in they tend to end in a question, and their pitch and their tone changes right before they go to a commercial. What they've been
Right,
doing,
right.
what they've been doing new now is instead of always throwing somebody outside the ring and everybody doing a pose before they go on commercial, they've been taking commercial breaks while the match is still going in the ring as well. So that's something new that I've noticed as well. So they're trying to change it up from it being so obvious, like, yeah, we're going on a commercial break, like. But so basically, Shane, you think that somebody in the production team feels the same way that you're feeling, basically, as far as like maybe we should take the commercials while they're coming down to the ring versus during the match.
Right. And before you go to the commercial, they give us that cool little graphic that we like of the first person that walks to the ring. Like I know they did that with Bianca tonight. It was like, wow, that's dope. And then when you come back from the commercial, everybody's already in the ring, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then the match starts. So that I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. But let me ask this question before we go to a message break and move on. Jay, you mentioned something about Logan being alone. Do you honestly think, Jay and Des, do you honestly think that Logan Paul is actually going to be alone at Mania? And is it possible that maybe pretty deadly, being that they're not really doing anything, maybe they will be around the ring to help out Logan Paul again? What say you guys?
I could see that. It's either them, KSI, or his friend that always is at ringside that hands him the brass knuckles. It could be one of those guys, or it could still be Theory and Waller. There's so many guys now that Logan Paul's actually got behind them, and they all seem to be NXT guys that are like behind them and shit. So yeah, I could definitely see them all helping him out. It's gonna probably be like a 5-on-2 if you look at it.
I'll roll with Pretty Deadly because they're not on the card, and of course his business partner KSI for sure. I'll book him for sure to be some part of in the match, whether he's the prime guy again, like how he was it last year, or the year before, or like Jay said, the brass knuckle holder dude. It could be, I mean, for sure, anybody dealing with Prime, because of the fact that Prime is going to be in the middle of the ring, they're going to be there because it's more advertising for the company. And yeah, I'll pick Pretty Deadly over A Town Down Under only because Pretty Deadly's not on the show, so they'll get some screen time during WrestleMania just to be there. Shane.
And you know what? Not for nothing, knowing Logan Paul and knowing that this is Mania, I say, hell, bring the whole squad, bring the whole Prime squad. They're all going to be out there to represent because they're sponsoring. And then Pretty Deadly, absolutely. If you're not doing anything, yeah, well, come on over and hang out at the side of the ring for a few. Hang out, have a beer, and chill out.
Shane. I was watching it.
Oh shit! Look who's
Uh,
here,
Okay. What?
who's here?
Oh,
No
Tristan.
way, no way.
what's good?
Dez,
Yo,
do the honors, dude. I'll let you do it, Dez.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please let's give a big three bells welcome back to our original co-host of Monday Night Raw, Mr. Tris Rollins, ladies and gentlemen. And let's also give it up for our boy, my tag team partner, LaJuan. Thank you, fellas, for being in the ring, for being in the listeners' column tonight. What's up? What's up? It's all love, Tristan. Jay's been bugging me. He's been bugging me to to have you back. And I reached out like I said I would, and you are being a man of your word. So thanks, cuzzo. Shane, I forgot. I was going to say I was watching Jake's interview with Mommy from the other week, and she didn't even know. Like nobody knew that they were going to do the spot and have Prime be the Matt promotion. So he was like, yeah, we had to jump on that because if it wasn't going to be us, somebody was going to buy that. So he was like, why not us? You got messages, Shane.
Hey, Jay, isn't this interesting to see a former tag team partner and a current tag team partner all in the same spot, given same live? I mean,
Oh boy.
I'm not trying to make a cup of coffee here, but we're already at Starbucks and I see that these two guys is in line in front of us.
Look. Didn't Jimmy come back to the bloodline? Didn't Jimmy come back to the bloodline? It's family at the end of the day. Like The Rock said, it's family. Stay out of family business. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's please also welcome back our guy, Jose Cuervo. What's going on? What's going on, Red Ranger? It's a reunion tonight. Shane, you got reunion powers going on tonight? What's going on here?
Keep in mind, everyone, tonight is an episode of Smackdown. This is not Raw. This is the blue label. This is Smackdown. But say hi to everyone, to all of the Raw fans and the NXT fans. Hopefully we can see some SmackDown fans are here, but that's okay. We still love you guys anyway.
But what was that shot for? What did you mean by that? Hold on a second. Wait, how are you going to say this is not Raw, this is the blue label? What does that mean?
It means whatever you want it to mean. And in your case, it's shade. Because everything is shade to you so that you can cover up your dirty shoes. But that's all right. It's Friday. We don't need shoes. We can walk around the house with our socks and shoes on. So.
Oh, shit.
You got 3 messages, guys.
Yes, we do. We're going to return after these messages.
I can understand what Triple J is saying with them having a run as a tag team because their names and their finishes kind of coexist with each other. KO, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Randy's Knockout. Their names and finishes kind of coexist with each other, and it sounds good. Even though I don't want to see Randy Orton win another tag title because it's just pointless now. I guess if that's what the fans want, they'll get it. That's all I see right now. He doesn't need another tag team title shot, but maybe they try to get a run and then they somehow start fighting each other later on down the line. I don't know. What WWE should do is, being the fact that they may know people are upset and don't like the commercial thing, being the fact they're doing the thing with Netflix, maybe they should try to get a sponsorship with SmackDown, have no commercials during the Netflix time, and still play it on cable where they play commercials. And if you have a subscription, watch it on Netflix and it could play right through. Or if they are going to play commercials, it will be something small that's doing like an endorsement or something where everybody is still able to see the entrances and all that. Cause a lot of the entrances is important, man. So yeah, maybe a subscription. A cable network will do commercials, and if you have a paid subscription, you'll be able to see everything.
But you got to understand, Lawan, that first of all, for SmackDown and for all of these shows, of course, you need commercials because commercials pay the rent. They pay the bills and the rent for the stations. Now, in terms of like Netflix or Peacock, you still need commercials anyway because you need to reset the ring. You need to get everybody ready and set. It's not like just a continuous flow. It's like they got to have a break so that they can reset. Case in point today, look at how they treated the announcement table. Like that announcement table was almost dismantled, like almost in every match tonight. So they needed time to reset that. And then in terms of being on Netflix, besides resetting, they have like programs and products that they want to sell. So yes, we understand, from a fan's point of view that wants to see action and action and action, but from a production and from a marketing point of view, we need these commercials because we need to sell product and we need to have spaces to make money. Now the thing is about placement. If you place it at the right spots, case in point, NXT, they do picture in picture. Surprised that they don't do that for SmackDown, but maybe we will see, something like that. Maybe be like a smoother show once they get into like the Netflix or USA in terms of SmackDown. Let's play more messages.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I probably won't be in this podcast too long. I got some things to do, but had to check in on y'all. It was a good absence. Life was, I don't gotta get into details, but yeah, it's good to be back. I'm better now, and I'm coming right back on Monday.
Well, it's good to have you here, even if it's for a few minutes. And
Uh-oh.
he's coming back. They coming on Monday. Shoot. Shoot.
I even had to.
It's gonna be the battle of tag teams. Woof.
I even had to say on that one.
Okay, you heard the way he said it. He was like, "I'll be back on Monday."
Like,
Shit. I'm telling you, we're gonna hear it.
I'm going to Raw on Monday, so I won't be here to host. One of y'all,
Yeah, right.
I'm going to be at Barclays today. I told y'all that. I'm gonna buy the last minute ticket.
Listen, all three of us will be out there, and we're gonna broadcast live right after the show because we get to hang out, and we can go to the 4040 bar and finish the show right in there.
Right. Wow, that'll be a very interesting episode of the Three Bells podcast on Monday. Somebody said that he wants his seat back. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Let me play these more messages. Go, Ranger. Go, Ranger.
What's going on, fellas? The Three Bells podcast. Bing, bing, bing. Let's go.
Oh, is this what you was looking for, Ray Ranger? Yeah, I got you. There you go.
Yo, I'm a little too excited about the way SmackDown ended, so I'm gonna wait till y'all get to the end because all of it means nothing until I get to the end. All of it means nothing. I'm just too excited. Let me calm down. Let me calm down.
Hey, we're gonna get to it. Trust you and me. We'll get to it.
The shout outs to Mundo, to Shane O'Mac, and Triple J. Good to see y'all in the mix. And yes, this is Smackdown. We gotta show the people show some love. We gotta turn this show back into the people show. If you're maybe that's why they don't love the Smackdown. I wonder.
See, that was your cue on Monday, not tonight, man. There was no Rock tonight. But we have a Lawan tonight, what he finally says.
If you want your seat back, then you have to come to work to get your seat back. You ain't Roman Reigns.
Ooh, salt and pepper shakers. Woo-wee.
Shots fired. There's...
Everybody, shot, 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 shot.
Dez is gonna have his hands full on Monday.
You know how I can do this, right? Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I had to take a pause. I paused for a second. I was looking at the wall and then the ceiling. And then I thought about it. I was like, come on. I'm Mundo. I can make this work. It's 3 hours. What? Didn't I just have 6 people on at one time? Come on. This is going to be fun. Whoever's on time.
Sounds like Jay and I might be at the Barclays Center live chilling. Since you're going to have a room.
Yeah.
Since you're going to have literally your own faction up in here.
No, Shane, you have to be here because the SmackDown Superstars will be on Raw Monday. So you have to be here as part of SmackDown. Come on now.
What's the name of your faction? The Chambermen, the Three Bells Chambermen, or
the Mundo Knights?
The Mundo Knights?
I stole that from Kane.
The Mundo Knights? Is that cheerleaders? The Mundo Knights?
I stole that from Kane. Chill. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Oh, it just came out of the air, just out of nowhere. It's the Mundo Knights. See, that's what I think. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Mundo Knights. Wow, see, that works with the magic. There you go.
It would be Mundo and the Mundo Knights.
Like Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5? Wow.
Yeah. Let me stop.
That's a mess. But you know what's a mess? This next segment that happened. And I'm going to have Jay explain what was going on in this package with Io Sky, as well as talk about the whole segment as to what she said, because she did mention some interesting nuggets, Jay, as well as what happened when they said cut. Jay,
ladies and gentlemen, it is now Jay's translation of the night.
Here we go, fellas. Bailey started Damage Control because she was lost. It was never about helping new talent. She saw an opportunity to latch onto us and get into the spotlight again. The only reason Bailey wanted us to succeed is so she could take the credit. She's a narcissist who loves to claim she's a victim. And now you all feel sorry for her. Your hypocrisy disgusts me. However, I know Bailey played a role in me becoming champion, but I made Bailey relevant. Dakota and I felt obligated to keep her around, but our patience wore thin. We got tired of her. We outgrew Bailey, so I did what needed to be done. There was a time when I saw Bailey as my friend, and I'll regret that for the rest of my life. She's an embarrassment and is a tragedy to this company. I hope after WrestleMania, I never see her again. And then ensued. That's all, folks.
Great job, Jay.
Thank,
Ladies and gentlemen, that was
thank you.
Jay's translation of the night.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Very creative, man. I really like that. Shout out to Jay. Because I thought that he was going to literally like just write it down and then just, explain what happened. But you had to actually speak and then you translated it. Very good.
Yeah, he did poem style. It felt like a poem was being read. I felt that.
Oh, so that was you snapping your fingers. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, trust me, when you hear the playback.
Sounds like a vacuum cleaner.
Far from it. Far from it. LaRon
Finally,
said,
Me personally, I thought the promo was good, and Bailey coming in and interrupting and them fighting in the background after that interview was kind of good because this match hasn't been getting any type of promos, any type of leeway, no nothing. This match is being poorly promoted. So the fact that this happened kind of helps a little bit. I know we only a week left into WrestleMania, so I guess to help push this, I guess they did that. But this match has been poorly promoted, man, and they got to fix it. They got to add a little bit more into it.
well, I guess they're trying to juggle this match and, the tag teamers. But I like what they did tonight because, it asks the question, because I asked the question in the chat, did EO had a point? Like, did she, it seemed like she made some interesting points, where she was like, she called us hypocrites. And in a way, she's right, because at first we all like, people didn't like her, they hated her. And then when the very thing that she created did what she was doing to people in the WWE, now we like, feeling sorry for her. That's being a hypocrite, right? I don't know. What says you, Des? What says you, Jay? Like, did you get like how we always talk about how bad is the bad guy? Does the bad guy actually have some valid points? So basically, that's what I'm asking. In this package, did EO have some valid points?
That's actually what I was going to say. We have another quote unquote heel, a bad person, just stating their truth, and the fact that we latched on to the other person and called them the good person, the good guy, good woman. We automatically put them in the category as bad. But I can see what she's saying, because at one point it was just about Bailey and that whole series that she had with Bianca Belair for trying to get her to get the championship from her. That everything was just geared towards Bailey and them doing for Bailey. And the whole credit thing kind of threw me, because I'm like, was she taking credit for everything that they achieved? She was saying that was my plan, but that's what the leader, it's the leader. You come up with the plans. We see that with Roman Reigns. I'm the quarterback, by order of the tribal chief and all that. So I'm like, did you not want to be in a group where you're not the leader? So then why get in the group? But oh man, it's just they felt that they had to deal with her. Like, my thing is, what would you be doing if she didn't bring you back? You were gone. Both of you were gone. You guys got big pops because she brought you back. So Are you not grateful? Because you didn't sound like you were grateful. You sound like a little kid who's mad. But I'm like, you've been the champion for over 200 days. She helped that. She was proud of that, and she said that she was going to go get her own championship, so all of y'all can be champions. So I'm like, what? Again, I'm sorry. I'm still Team Bebe. I was always Team Bebe, even when she was quote unquote bad. Uh, she does no wrong in my eyes. Right, Mello? Jay?
Like what I see out of this, honestly, is the fact that she's just basically letting it all be explained as to her reasons why she had to do what she had to do to get to where she needed to be. It was more or less like you could say her and Dakota using Bailey's stardom, her relevancy, how big she was and everything, and they took advantage of it and capitalized. And once they realized, like, look, we've had enough of you, we don't really need you by our sides anymore. We could have turned on you. But they was already turning on her in the process, and she, like, at one time she was acting like she didn't know, and she did. So, all in all, it was schemed out by both sides, you could say. And when you think one side was playing the other, they was playing each other in everything because Bailey knew everything that was going on. And Dakota and them, what they did, Dakota was like, look, I'm hurt, I need you, Bailey. And she easily sucked in Bailey for a quick minute, and look what happens. Pages turn again. And then it also, to me, it makes what Bianca said last time kind of true. Like, Bailey, everything that's coming to you, you deserve. So I might not have your back, but I will have someone else's back. So yeah, this is a real tough one. Both sides have already kind of let stuff out, and now we just got to see what it is now in 8 days. I'm ready for it already. Like, bring that shit on. But it sucks that we're not getting that as the main event of any night, and that was something I know Bailey really wanted to do.
I blame The Rock.
Absolutely. The Rock changed the entire landscape of Mania, in my opinion, just so that he can have his moment. Because what is it for him to gain? But then I'm not going to open that. I'm not opening that bottle. Put the bottle back, Shane. We're not talking about that now because we could talk the rest of the show about that.
Shane, but seriously though, like, you don't think that all those, what the hell? All those,
bike off.
Huh?
Are you on a bike? You on a bike? Are you on a Harley? So your Harley
No,
off.
I hear it too. That's not me. That must be my background. But I was trying to say, I get it. They were trying to sell out SmackDown, but on the TV end, they were giving too much time to The Rock and the Bloodline. Whereas finally, somebody used their brain and was like, "Oh, we have a 3-hour show on Mondays. Why don't we use that show where we can still have time to do TV after we're done with that?" Like, I don't understand why it took them so long to realize that. Cody is from Raw. Seth is from Raw. The Rock, he's not tied to one brand. And same thing with Roman. He goes wherever he freaking goes. So I don't understand why it took them so long to finally bring the story to Raw. Because it hindered SmackDown for a month straight. And like Lawan said, now you barely got any promotion for the women's title match. Because you see on Raw, the World Heavyweight Championship match for the women got promoted every week. Every week we saw something about it. But on SmackDown, it's just like you get a show like tonight where it's like, damn, we're basically still a week after Royal Rumble on SmackDown, technically, where we know some matches, but we didn't really promote it, versus it being like, oh shit, we're a week away from WrestleMania. So now they moved the Bloodline story from this week to Monday, and then obviously it's not going to be on SmackDown next week, so they can do last minute promoting of the matches. It's a mess. It's a hot mess.
You know why they did that, dude? Ratings. You get more eyes on SmackDown than you do on Raw. So of course you're going to have that time period on SmackDown because it'll be more highly watched than Raw, and then you have the social media going crazy. So now's the time that it's going to be on Raw. Will we see them on Raw on Monday? Of course, Raw's a super show. Everybody's going to be in Brooklyn. You know how they doing in Brooklyn. They turn up once they come to Brooklyn. So
No, I get that, but I'm
that's
saying, but now you sacrifice the back end of your WrestleMania because now you get a match with Mysterio and Dom made the week before. You get basically it looks like Damage Control versus Jade and company a week before. What else? You like Juan said again. We barely promoted our WWE Women's Championship match until the week before. Basically, like it's really last minute. So this stuff, they will have to deliver in these matches at the event, or it's just going to look like a shit show.
Well, are you saying before we move on, are you saying that there's a higher expectation because they waited so long to promote it as opposed to them promoting it like maybe a month in advance?
I'm saying that they over promoted the whole situation with Rock, Roman, Seth, and Cody because they weren't really promoting anything else on the show, and it's 2 days worth of stuff. So it's like, now you don't know what you're getting until now. It's the week before. It's like, oh, okay, so we're gonna have this match, that match, that match, that match. Okay, but like you say, Shane, why? Why are we getting this match? Why are we getting that match? There's no story behind it. And you know how there's usually the little story that they do before the matches happen at the show. It's like, okay, you're gonna show me a week or 2 weeks worth of stuff and say, oh, this is why we're at WrestleMania. Like,
I mean, okay, I see what you're saying. So like the story with like, the Rock, Roman, Cody, Seth, these are the top tiers. So of course you're going to always talk about them and always talk about their story and add layers and layers. Because first of all, these guys, they put seats in asses. That's just from a marketing point of view.
asses,
and from
asses and seats.
They put, is that what I said? I said put asses in seats. Is that what I said?
You said seats and asses.
Seats and asses, asses and seats. It's all about the money. So of course you always going to have the fillers, because there's a hole here and a hole here and a hole here. Holes, WH, not H. And you need these superstars, to fill in those spots. So I understand what they're doing, because look what they're doing with The Rock. They put The Rock in, and he's like the most talked about online. This is exactly what they want. They're doing all of this by design for that bigger picture, which is people wanting to invest in the stories and people wanting to see Mania. All these little stories, they come in these little matches they put together to just fill in the whole program. That's how I see it. But any final words, Des, before we move on?
But what I'm saying is the WWE Women's Championship is not just a little match, not a little filler. That's the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble in that match. And the champion who's been champion for 230 days or some odd days, it's not just a little match. That could have main evented Saturday night, honestly. It's not just a simple match. I mean, the same thing with the ladder match. We just got that, a week ago or so? Was for the tag titles. Like, I get it as far as like maybe the Dom Ray situation, but clearly that was a panic button thing that they did to just be like, all right, cool, we can just run it back from last year. But like, I don't know.
Well, as you sit there and think about it, Des, and yes, Jay, we know you're still here. Wake up, dude. Wake up, wake up. We know you're here, because I'm gonna ask you something in a minute. Let's go towards the ring, okay?
Yes, sir.
Jay, you up?
Of course I'm on.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes Des and I, we get into like these conversations. It's like, oh, wait a minute, Jay is here too.
Of course, of
But
course.
before we continue, oh, he just left. I was going to give a shout out to Mr. Hill, but he just left. Maybe he'll come back. I'll give him the shout out. But let's go to the ring. Before we had an in ring, we had Nick Aldis, SmackDown general manager, for he wanted to introduce the newest member of the SmackDown family. Finally, everyone, we get an official logo and we get an official song of the one Jade Cargill. And she gets in the ring. She has her awesome outfit on. And man, I tell you, she has one of the most amazing bodies I have ever seen on a human. Absolutely amazing. She gets on the mic and she says,
hell, if you ask me, Nick, it's about damn time.
I couldn't agree with you more, girl.
And since we finally put pen to paper,
takes off the shade.
Let me make myself crystal clear. We have one of the best female roster in the world. But they're not Jade Cargill. They're not the headline. They are not a once-in-a-lifetime superstar. And let me give you another weather update. The storm has arrived.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay and Des, that was Jade Cargill. What were your thoughts on this official debut?
Well, shit. Well, that intro was fire the way she was coming out. It was like just cloudy and stuff. And then, all you see is muscle after muscle just popping out of her. And then she comes with that red, shiny outfit. I'm like, yo, you're just, you got a perfect 10 body. You know, she's here where she needed to be on SmackDown with fresh faces, just like herself. And, you know, Shane, you've been wanting this decision for a long ass time. We got it. She put the pen to paper, and now she's officially in the roster. Now let's see what she can do because the storm is here.
I think if Triple H wasn't an ex bodybuilder, she wouldn't have walked out from the back looking like that. Because I was like, God damn, she ain't got nothing on. I was like, PG, what? Well, I was like, okay. Like y'all said, I mean, amazing, amazing physique, amazing body. Like, why not flaunt that? Like, man, oh man. I'm not familiar with her. I wasn't watching AEW when she was there, and all I know of her is what I've seen so far in WWE. And so, I'm not even going to get into later on in the night because we're not there yet. So yeah, finally she found a home. She got mic skills. Apparently, I don't know if she had it before, but if she didn't, then they did a good job at the training facility working with her. It was a good promo. It's just that the crowd tonight was they were boring, and I don't blame them because of the product that they were given tonight. So it goes hand in hand. But yeah, I'm excited to see what else she can do, the impact that she'll have on this women's roster on SmackDown. Because as we all know, that roster is still led by Charlotte Flair, who's out currently. But you know, and I believe Charlotte was the first person Jade confronted when she first got to WWE. So let's see. There's a lot of possibilities with her. A lot of possibilities. Shane?
Des brings up a good question. I'm gonna ask Jay this. Jay, do you, if you've seen AEW when Jade was on AEW, and if so, how was her mic skills there as with the mic skills here at WWE? Do you know that, Jay?
Basically, nothing's really changed. It's still the same her. She barely spoke like that because the women's division was weak. And I've only I ain't gonna lie to you. I could say I've only watched maybe 3 of her matches on there. So the time that she did speak, she barely said anything. And it's just like tonight, we probably got maybe a minute and a half of her talking, and that was it. So I would say it's eerie similar.
Okay, cool. We're gonna talk about Jade later. But first, before we continue, we say what's up and hello and thank you for joining for Nah, it's RJ. Thank you for joining us today. And of course, I got the special button here for DJ. Alert, alert, we have a DJ in the house, DJ Younger Nut, aka Mr. Hill. This is Des Pops, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Three Bells table. That's your special Three Bells, Big Daddy. Thanks for
It's
being here.
DJ Younger Nut. If he ain't playing, I
that was
ain't staying.
See, you were supposed to have done that first. You were supposed to have interrupted me and said, Shane, I got to do this. I got to give props. But you didn't do it. That's why I did it.
No,
So
that was
you gotta
fine.
have a special button.
This is your show. It's fine. And I did that as a joke because that's something me and my brother-in-law does in my pods. Because he has an actual drop like that he plays during his recordings and his parties and stuff. So we like to imitate it for him, and we just laugh.
Oh, okay. Cool. Speaking of cool, see what Luan has to say.
I don't want to blame The Rock, man. It's just like I said, it's bad promotion. There's a lot of stuff on SmackDown that could have been avoided, and they could have gave that shit to Bailey. Like for example, Bobby Lashley and friends. That shit ain't really got no pop to it. Bailey could have had all that time, and they could have been promoting it from there.
Well, yeah, it's official. Final. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. You brought up a good point, Luan. I almost jumped ahead.
Bad promotion puts in my head that Bailey is going to lose the match at Mania just because there's no build up to it. There's no excitement to it. They blackball that whole thing.
I hope that's not true, Luan, because the whole world is betting on Bailey. including the 3 belts here.
And Damage Control's been running, it's really been running the women's division, real well for about 2 years. So there's this storyline that's already built up from Bailey bringing these two individuals back when they were released. So again, this is bad promotion, man. They was running it for 2 years, and now here comes WrestleMania, and y'all give them a shit promotion, a shit list, man. That's just awful and bad.
Wouldn't it be amazing that even though it was a shit promotion, they probably give like one of the most amazing matches in their career? That's what I'm really looking forward to. One more
Shane,
before we get.
that's what I was
These
saying,
ladies could have
Shane.
went as far, or WWE could have went as far as having them on social media promoting the match and doing stuff to each other on social media to each other, just like what Drew McIntyre has been doing, or what The Rock has been doing, or Cody Rhodes has been doing a little, and all. They could have been doing shit like that to help push the match forward if they wasn't going to properly do it on SmackDown.
That's very true, Laurent. That is very true. Des, you were saying something before I played the message. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was just agreeing with you that if we're not going to get the push and story by WWE in most of those matches, like I said, they're going to have to leave it all out in the ring and just make you forget that they didn't get the push as far as story wise. And I really hope that's the case for Io and Bailey, because it's really not fair to them. I really think that before the whole Rock situation happened, I really, honest to God, feel like the main event for SmackDown, WrestleMania Night 1 was supposed to be Io Sky versus Bailey for the women's championship. In my heart of heart, I really feel like that was the move that was going to happen before all this happened and the pivots and all that stuff.
Ain't that something? A Rock changed the entire landscape of Mania. Before we continue, let's say what's up to Drew. We see Drew in the house. Good to see you, Drew. And of course, look, y'all, it's our boy. He's here. He's here. What's good, man? How are you? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Happy Good Friday to you and everyone that's joining tonight. So let's move on. We are backstage with Damage Control. Jay, we'll start with you and then Des to follow as they were asked the question and answered.
Jade, tell me, what has Jade done except just stand there? Okay, and Bailey? Bailey is going to be embarrassed next week at WrestleMania, thanks to you. But you know what the best part of SmackDown's going to be tonight? It's going to be when I beat Bianca in the middle of that ring, all right? She was not even a thought in our minds, and yet she decided to reinsert herself back into our business by helping Naomi. She went through 2 years of Damage Control beatdowns. All right, she wants to call herself the strongest, the roughest, the toughest. Maybe if she were the smartest, she would never have gotten involved in Damage Control's business.
Does she have a point, Des and Jay?
Well, she needs to slow it down a bit. She's a little too excited there. But again, is she? I mean, the situation hasn't changed for Bianca. She was still feuding with Damage Control, whether it was with Bailey in the group or not. They still have the belt that she wants back. Remember, Io beat Bianca for the belt. That's how she got it. So it's still a gripe there. And not to mention, she was defending her friend. So she was just coming down there to help her friend and make sure her friend didn't get hurt or whatever that nature. I don't blame her for that. But, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And that moment needs to happen next Friday. We need to see Bianca and Bailey put this shit to the side and all hell breaks out at the end of SmackDown. You got all 4 of Damage Control versus all 4 of Bailey and friends ending out the show. Yeah. I don't have any problems with Bianca being a part of this story, Dakota, because the story never ended for Bianca with you guys. Jay?
Well, like, I would think, Dakota she doesn't really give me too much oomph with her words, because she's just like, she's letting us know basically the setup of the match for Mania once she had said Jade's name. So you're like, okay, fine. You just threw her into the match. Now you just threw this other one into the match, letting them know that, you're interfering in our business after 2 years and this and that. So thank you for tossing us the Mania match before the end of the night. Basically, I'm not going to go too far on it, but we needed more time on this. I wish there was a little bit more time on that segment, because it just kind of breezed for me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It was super fast.
Well, in my defense, I do my playbacks on a faster speed so it can take up less time so that we can have more time to talk about it.
Not true.
So
Not true. I'm saying on TV. It was just
Yeah,
like too short.
it was super fast on TV because there was no substance. Basically, there was no point of them actually doing the segment. Basically,
well, they have those little segments where they're in the back and before they step out, they say what they want to say or they talk a little smack to help do. I guess you want to hyping up the match or
matter of
you
fact,
want.
Shane, actually, that reminds me. Like, do they? I don't think they do that on SmackDown. They do that on Raw a lot. Where we have the one-on-one time with the person that's fighting later on tonight. But I don't. They don't. I guess they don't have enough time on SmackDown because I don't remember seeing them doing that recently.
Yeah, this was an odd show. There was a lot of talking going on tonight. I mean, we only had 4 matches, so 4 matches and a whole lot of talking. Just like with this next thing that I want to first off I want to ask. It was Nick Aldis. He was backstage walking, and these 2 girls ran up to him. Do you guys know who these 2 girls were that ran up to him, and what the hell were they talking about? Like, I didn't even understand what they was talking about.
Those were the former NXT Tag Team Champions. That was Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. They were just basically ranting about something. I don't know. They was really cuckoo to me.
Shane, you know them by their entrance. You know that whole like devil entrance thing.
I do.
Yeah, you said that the entrance is cool. You don't remember?
But yo,
From NXT. Yeah,
No,
whatever.
she's on SmackDown. Remember the chick that comes out with the staff, and the fire and all that other stuff.
That was her?
Yes, they look like they're devil worshippers or something like that.
Oh.
But yo,
Okay.
yo, Shane. But before all of that, did you catch that commercial with OTM and the Street Profits on the Snickers commercial?
I'm so glad you spoke on that. How funny was that?
Dawkins was like, he had the plate of food in his hand. I was like, yo, these guys are really hilarious. You just see OTM there just looking at them. Like, what? I
No,
like
like
the commercial.
what was the commercial about? Like, explain what the commercial was about, quick fast.
I would say it was like they was having dinner and it was like a roast. That's what Montez said. We were having a roast. And Dawkins came out really with the roast in his hand. And you kind of see OTM just like, oh my God. Just their reaction to it all. I didn't expect OTM to get a commercial at all. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, it seems like they're like friends in real life. Wasn't they on what's that show, Love and WWE? I think I remember seeing them maybe once or twice.
Scripps was on there. He's cool
Scripps,
with the Street Profits.
and he was also in that commercial. He was also sitting at that table. It was a
Yeah,
Snickers commercial. Yeah.
yeah. Remember, he was at the party. He was at the party at Bianca and Montez's crib.
Hmm.
So they might have just was like, hey, Street Profits, we got a commercial for you, and they probably was just like, hey, can we add our guys in it real quick? Share the
Right.
love.
Okay. Well, I'm still back here with Nick Aldis because when the girls ran away, AJ Styles popped into the picture, and he said,
Make sure LA Knight is not going to be here tonight.
Like I told you yesterday, I asked LA Knight not to be here tonight.
You should have told him.
so there's a difference between asking somebody to be there and you should have told them not to be there. Ask them to be there. There's a difference. I told you that we're going to be at the Barclays Center. I'm not asking because by asking, there's a chance that you might say no and I'm not going. But no, I'm telling you, which means I'm 100% sure that I'm going, regardless of you not wanting us to go or not. So that was the point of that clip. It was supposed to be a difference between telling and asking. You
Especially
get it,
coming
Dad?
especially coming from an authoritative figure. If I tell you not to show up, don't show up. If I'm asking you not to show up, it's like don't come. Please don't come. I'm giving you an option, basically. Still,
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Speaking of which, let's go into the ring, fellas. For we have match number 2, and this is a tag team, and it's a qualifying match for one of the 6 slots of the 6-pack match at Mania. So we have Austin Theory and his bestie Grayson versus Street Profits from Bobby and Friends. And did you notice the red cup? Mm-hmm. Jay, we're going to start with you, and then Des to follow on your thoughts on this match.
Well, honestly, with this match, it was not bad because I like the fact that we're getting a lot more of Dawkins for some reason, and he's showing a lot of his moves. The T-bone suplex I thought was great, and then his punch that he gave earlier was wild throughout the match. The blockbuster was crazy. Also, you know when also Dawkins, he's that sit up stand up shit he did was crazy as well. He's showing me a totally different side of him, but at the same time, you know, we got stupid ass carrying cross interfering in the back and beating up, and him and Scarlett seems like they beat up Bobby and B Fab in the back. They beat up Airbnb in the back. So, Dawkins is distracted by it, and he's telling Tez like, "Look, let's go," and Tez doesn't go and gets caught in the air off of the frog splash, and they lose. Ay ay ay! And then here comes AOP, wanting to beat them up, give them the little super collider, blah blah blah, and then Bobby comes back and tries to help. Oh god, I don't know. This shit felt so boring to me. I didn't even get excited off of it because I really wanted the Street Profits to win the match. I wasn't really into A-Town Down winning this match to go into the ladder match. So oh yeah. The beatdown they gave Bobby, and them just standing around them and over them, letting them know that they're a more dominant faction and wanting a match. So we're gonna more than likely, if we don't see this match next week, we're seeing it at Mania. Like Des been saying for the past month and a half, 2 months, they've really, really dragged this storyline to the core where honestly it's bored me and hasn't done anything for me. This does not move the needle for me. Bobby shouldn't be involved in stuff like this. Karrion Kross shouldn't be involved in stuff like this, especially if they're singles guys. I want to see these guys wrestle as singles guys and try to go for championships. I don't want to see no fucking 3-on-3. Fuck that. Fight 1-on-1 in a cage. Get this shit over with between y'all two, and nobody interferes because mainly this is y'all beef. Leave the Street Profits away. Leave AOP away. Let them try to venture off and try to get a tag title somewhere, you know, and then end it. This shit needs to be ended with them. Fuck them.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was Jay's rant of the night. No, but seriously though, what's up, Shane? I saw you. What happened?
No, do your thing. Go ahead.
No, because that was very well warranted because he's been hating this storyline from the jump. And I've just been telling him to be patient about it. But the problem is SmackDown has just been so bunched up with so much bullshit the last few months. This story has never gained traction because in the beginning, they were there 1 week, then they weren't there. Then they were there, then they weren't there. It's like, how can you have a storyline like that? Come on. But anyway, just looking at it, we with Waller and Theory winning tonight, we have 1, 2, 3 tag teams that are well, actually, yeah, no, 2. We only have 2 tag teams that are considered bad guys in the match. So I guess for the balance, it had to go that way, and for the sake of this storyline, it had to go that way with the Street Profits losing. But I think the way that they lost was stupid as fuck. I think that's why I was so mad earlier because yes, I wanted Street Profits to win, but for them to lose the way they did was dumb. I would have rather them get jumped ringside behind the ref's back and then lose like that because it didn't make sense. Like, what the fuck are you going to do, Dawkins? They already got beat up, so you're going back there to do what? Why would you leave the ring? And Jay, he was actually telling Montez to hit the splash. He was like, you do that, I'll take care of this. But Montez was so busy just paying attention to the screen, then by the time he gave Theory so much time to recover, he got hit with the knees and all that. But I just thought that was stupid. Whoever came up with that ending, boo. Shane, can we boo them, please? You got any boos or womp womps or something? Because that shit was pathetic, man. Please, Shane, help me.
Okay, here's your want wrong. So wait, so let me understand this because I turned away from that moment because when I looked back, I saw that Dawkins was walking away from the ring. Why did he do that?
Because they played again, they used the Titantron tonight to actually show videos. But they played that B-Fab and Bobby got beat up in the back by Karrion Kross and Scarlett. They were down. Bobby was knocked out. B-Fab was hurting. Bottles was all over the place. It was like, it was bad. So Dawkins started making his way towards the back. And at that same time, Montez was about to hit the frog splash because the match looked like it was about to be over. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why would you leave? They already got beat up. You can't help anybody. They already got beat up. The trainer's already back there. Like, let them do their job. Like, that was so stupid. And, in that same breath, he was telling Montez, like, to keep going, hit the frog splash, get the match over with. But at that point, it was too much time that was let go. So I just think overall that ending to the match was fucking dumb. Fucking dumb. Yes, I said the F word. Fucking dumb. They could have ended that any which way. And Jay, I said it to you in the chat. I'll say it to you live on here. If this match does not make it to WrestleMania, I will concede to you that this whole story was fucking stupid. Because, I mean, I've been giving it a chance all this time, but if this match does not happen at WrestleMania, and I don't include I'm not including the kickoff. Kickoff is not WrestleMania. That's just you weren't good enough to be a part of the main show. And it's 2 fucking days, and you weren't good enough to get on that. So if they can't get on that, I concede to you that this whole shit was fucking stupid. AOP is trash. Karrion Kross is trash. They're making the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley look like trash as well in this. So yeah, let's see, maybe Shane.
Well. We got not one, but 2 rants of the night. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Des. Did better than me. And on my show. How dare you? How dare you?
Oh, and one more
Look,
thing. I didn't even get a shout out to Dawkins for paying tribute to D'Lo Brown. That lowdown was fucking nice that he did. It was the lowdown. If y'all remember, that was D'Lo. That move was awesome.
what have I been saying about Dawkins? Who he reminds me of? And there you go.
Yeah,
Look, he's bringing out that move. All he got to do now
yeah.
is do that shake, that shake with the head. That's all. That's all he needs.
But you don't want to do too much of D'Lo because then you'll be him. So just take 1 or 2 little things for him because that head thing that's totally him. Like no one else can do that. But yeah, the moves that you did as a way of showing compliment and homage to to D'Lo, there, do that. But believe it or not, fellas, as this was going on, this may be something that's like more important to some people than the match itself. At that time, trending was SmackDown, Jade, and your girl Des, Baby. And Karrion was standing over Bobby, and he said, "Now nobody goes to Mania." So that's why I'm in my head going, "Oh, okay, so they're not going to be in Mania, and if they're going to be in Mania, are they going to be the opening act, or are they going to be doing a commercial break match, or are they going to be going to the bathroom, or going to the bar, or going to the other side of the arena match?" I don't know. It sounds to me, based on what the homies Dez and Jay are saying, it seems like a lot of people are not even invested in this story. Is it a story or is it a pamphlet? Dez, what say you?
Shane, real quick, I mean, after watching that whole Love in WWE with Bianca and Montez, you saw the road that Montez and Dawkins went to get to WrestleMania last year, right?
I did.
So I'm literally just off of that and just comparing it to this year. I'm like, it feels like they done took like 50 steps backwards because they won that match last year, but didn't really get anything out of it because the stupid ass tag team titles are still stuck together. And now this year they get clumped with Bobby Lashley and then still don't even have a stable name. And it's like still unclear, are they going to WrestleMania or not? And then if they do and they win, then what comes out of that? Like, with Shane, Jay, my question to y'all: if they win, would y'all want them to stick together, or like would y'all want this whole shit to just blow up? Meaning the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley.
Well, I mean, I mean, you guys have already kind of answered that, especially Jay in part of his rant, where he said he wants to see Bobby do his own thing, which I do also. Want to see Bobby do his own thing because I'm really not feeling this faction. This, we're the only ones that has a name for them, Bobby and friends. And it's like, we like the Street Profits as the Street Profits. We like Bobby as the Almighty Bobby. This Miss BC Fab, whatever, J Fab, whatever her name is. What's her name?
B Fab. But I mean, not just that. I'm saying, based off of what you've watched on Love and WWE, do we want it all to be blown up? Do we want Bobby to go his way, Dawkins to go his way, and Montez to go his way? Because it feels like they have nothing for them as a tag team anymore. And they were actually starting to create momentum for Montez last year as a singles competitor, but then it just went away and they got stuck back together. Like, would you want them to be completely blown up and just go ahead and do your own thing? And let's see how that rolls.
My thing is, we might have seen the first step of them two breaking up because of the fact when Dawkins walked off. That's one thing that really ran through my mind. Like, is this the beginning of the end for them? With that happening, because he's gonna probably be like, "Yo, you should have just did this. You should have did that. I should have did that." Tess is gonna probably be like, "Yo, bro, you should have stood in the ring. Should have been here to help me win and get to this tag team stuff." And it looks like it's headed that way. Like this group could blow up, and like Karrion Kross said, if nobody's going to Mania, so if that's the case, the group is done. In my opinion, I would say B-Fab stays on attached to Lashley as far as being his manager because she ain't got it ring wise as far as a fighter. So I could see it like that, and possibly we could see the Street Profits battling at SummerSlam or at Money in the Bank.
I don't know. I said since day one, if Street Profits were to ever split, the only one that I see doing anything would be Montez because he's the one. He has the energy, he has the skills, he has the moves, he has the looks, he has the package of a singles competitor. However, Mr. Dawkins, and he showed that he was good. That he was good. Was it last week or the week before? Remember, we announced that his mother passed away, and he gave that awesome performance. It was probably his best performance. But I don't see him as a singles competitor. I see him right here where he is right now at Street Profits and nowhere else. So if Street Profits were to split, Montez, I see him moving forward. However, Angelo, no. He could stand next to B-Fab and possibly stay with Bobby and continue with Bobby and friends. But maybe we will have a better idea after Mania. Because I know after Mania, a lot of questions are answered or new questions form, new stories form, or some stories continue. So maybe we'll have this conversation again in 2 weeks when we see what happens, fellas. Agree? Good enough? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
if you guys care to still have this conversation dealing with Bobby and friends, if you care.
Yeah. I mean, it'll still be SmackDown, so we'll have to deal with some version of it. So, yeah.
Right.
It'll be some bullshit if they feed that version of us of that bullshit to us on at the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal next week. I will lose my mind if all of them are in that match. That will be the end of all bullshits with them.
Bobby just won that last year, though. Remember, because he was supposed to face Bray, but then Bray got sick.
Yeah, he might as well defend it and see if he wins.
Well, speaking of losing minds, Jay, don't lose your mind, Jay, because I need your mind to talk about this next segment. For we are in the ring with Santos and his squad. Let me see if I can. What's the name of their squad? The Lagos Phantasmo.
LDF. Just join me, Shane. LDF. Don't do it to yourself.
Don't do it to yourself.
Shane, did you just say Lego?
Did I say Lego?
You said Phantasmo. Shane, we went through this the other day. Just go LDF.
Oh
no. You see, I don't try no more. Just LDF. I actually put it big on my notes. LDF. That's it.
So Des, what are we having for breakfast tomorrow? Legos. Anyway, Jay, I want to pick your brain on this segment. It was in the ring, and why don't you just explain in that good old narration voice of yours as to what happened in the ring with Santos?
I'm gonna go shuffle some papers real quick, guys.
All right, go ahead and shuffle.
Okay.
We got Legado del Fantasma in the ring, and they're talking about thanking someone, and they're thinking that the person that they thanked was Dom. So here comes Dom, shakes his hands, and in my mind, I'm like, is Dom slowly leaving the Judgment Day? That's what I started thinking to myself. And in Spanish, he was like, "Shut up and let me speak," when the crowd was booing him, and he had to say some words in Spanish. So you know, you could just see the crowd going bananas, losing their mind every time he was speaking. Typical Dom, and he's also thinking. He's there listening to what Santos is telling him, and you know, he basically you welcome, basically welcome. Was cool with it. And then next thing we know, we got Ray and the LWO coming out. So now Ray's talking and he's saying like, look, now you dragged my son into this, and you're having, now it's two guys I despise the most, and this is divine intervention, and I'm about to teach y'all a lesson. And when he picks his tag team partner, the whole crowd was chanting Carlito, and he picks Dragon Lee as his special partner, and I'm like, oh god, he picked someone that was eerie resembling of him. I wonder how poor Carlito was feeling when the crowd was hyping him up just for nothing. And then we see Elektra and Zelina face to face talking, and Zelina smacks her. Now we got a little cat fight ensuing that made everybody in the ring wild out, and I was like, yeah, there goes another Mania match that we're gonna possibly be getting, which would be, maybe like the LWO guys against the Legato people, while the other tag team match goes on with Ray and his son, Ray and Dragon Lee versus Dom and Santos. I didn't think it was gonna be like that, but hey, this is what we get in that Mania. Another way for Dom to stick it to his father yet again. Is that what's gonna happen, or does Rey Mysterio repeat as a winner again? Let's see what happens, fellas. Shane?
Thank you so much for telling us that. That's why I asked you, because I knew that you was going to explain it in that awesome way that you do so well. Before we continue, Des, do you have any comments on that in-ring segment? Or
Nope. I was excited. I was excited for Jay. He's been calling for something like this to happen for a while. Private. Mainly, I believe it's mainly been in our chat. I don't know if you've ever said it on here before, but I'm happy it's happening for you. I'm happy that it took them a while, but they finally got this build. But I have one question, Jay. Where does Andrade fit in all of this? Who does he back?
I think Andrade's gonna side with Ray at Mania and help Ray win the match, possibly to start a feud with Dom on Raw. Because basically Dom is the travel guy. He's going from show to show to show to show, and he's one of those guys where he pops up anywhere and everywhere. So I could see the fact that Andrade's gonna probably do the same thing and be like, you know what, this is the way I'm gonna get you, and I'm gonna interfere in your match. And there goes the beef. We'll see we'll see that match the night after Mania on Monday. That first Mania. I mean, first Raw after Mania.
Shane, you've had a message for that long. I've been meaning to tell you that. I mean, it might take us backwards, but yeah.
I just thought I was going to play before I respond. Let's take a commercial break with this message.
This whole match with Karrion Kross and the Street Profits, Bobby Lashley and them, is just pointless and useless. It's boring. There's no entertaining to it. These two big guys they got on, like Karrion Kross got with them, they don't even talk or say anything. It's just big for nothing. It's just B-Fab ain't doing nothing. She still can't wrestle. This match is just dookie. Diarrhea.
Des, you need to give your tag team partner some tissue because, Dookie. See? I'm not the only one that thinks about half
What?
of
That
the
thing to
Bobby
move?
and friend.
Look,
That
look,
keep
y'all
on
hurt me tonight. Y'all hurt me tonight. I'm just like I can't defend this shit no more, man. Like again, I give it to next week. If they don't announce this shit, I don't even know why they would wait another week to announce it. But if they don't announce that shit for WrestleMania, I'm over it. Throw the whole shit away. Throw it all. Everybody got to go. Clean house.
That Karrion Cross fucked it up by saying what he said. So now it makes us believe like these guys really are not fighting at Mania. Nobody is. And they're gonna be part of this little rumble next week. That's what I see. Yet again, another rumble with a beef.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Well, we have one more SmackDown, so I don't know. If it's not answered then definitely we won't speak too highly of it. We'll talk briefly about it if it's ever mentioned, especially after Mania. But
I got a question. I got a question.
hit it. Question.
Only because of what I said earlier about that, I was like, how the pre-show don't count. You feel me? Like that kickoff shit. If they have it on it, that don't count. That's not WrestleMania. But that made me think. We're not watching that, right? We are not watching the pre-show, right? Shane and Jay. We are tuning in at 7:00 to start our notes and all that, right?
Well, the
Correct.
pre-show will be the pre-show's gonna be playing on my TV, but hey, it is what it
It
is.
shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. The pre-show should be not playing on your TV because you should be hosting Stand and Deliver recap, sir. Now that I think about it.
That will be happening. I'll have plenty of time. If Mania is starting at 7, the pre-show should start at 6. Well, I'll have more than enough time. It could just be there, and I can mute it.
Because Stand and
It's not
Deliver
gonna
starts at 12.
right,
Hopefully,
and
the matches
it's gonna
start
probably
at like
end.
12:30.
It's gonna probably end at like 3:30. We'll be on here between 4 and 4:15, and we'll be talking for about at least the same amount of time that I do my shows. No more than 2 hours and change. No more than 2 hours and 10 minutes, and it gives us enough time to
You
sit
think
back
that
and at least.
you think they're only going to give us a 2 hour show
No,
for the
no, no,
WrestleMania?
no. They're gonna give us a 3 hour show, but you know how I do on my shows.
Yeah,
We
but you
gotta
normally have a 2 hour show though. You've never had a
right,
3 hour show that you actually had to watch.
right.
So that's what I'm saying. How can you do a
I'm
3 hour show in 2 hours?
well. I'm gonna let you guys do a lot of the talking on Saturday. You know, I'm be asking y'all the questions, and this is
Des, I
how we can.
understand.
This is how we can breeze.
Des, you have to
What you
explain
say?
to me the theory of 3 hours and 2 hours. Just because the show is 3 hours, that means that we need 3 hours to talk about it? Just
I
because the show is
mean,
2 hours, you're only giving us 2 hours to talk about it?
See,
you're getting 2 or 3 hours worth of content. So if you're recapping the show verbatim, then pretty much you're going to take up about the same amount of time as them. But I
I
mean,
mean,
also we don't. But the issue is we don't have a limit on how long somebody's take is. So you got to give yourself wiggle room.
not for
trust me,
nothing.
we'll be good. We'll be good.
Okay, whoa.
Like a Raw episode is not 3 hours because you're talking about, the little stuff in between as well as the commercials. So how much are we actually talking about Raw? You understand what I'm saying? It's to a point where we're fluffing in order to cover 3 hours. But we can cover a 3 hour show in 1 hour if we really wanted to. But probably 30
Yeah, but that's
minutes.
what I'm saying though. But if that's the case, then you would have to give everybody a time limit on their takes. You can't have a 5 minute take and there's 18, 19 segments. That's not going to work. And it's
You
three
can
of
make,
us.
well, because of the
It's gonna.
format we created, that's what, you know what I'm saying? That's what, because this is what the executives had created, being that we have that much time. But if we only
But
have
remember,
like 15 to 20 minutes, trust you and me, you're going to find time. You're going to find a way to talk 3 hours and 20 minutes. You'll find a way. You will
but
have to.
that's what I'm saying. But that's why I don't even give my takes really anymore on Raw. I leave it to y'all to do that because I'm trying to help speed the show up.
Okay,
And
then.
that's
So
the awesome thing
that's what we're
about
gonna
your
do.
show.
Y'all are talking at the same time, and it's just sounding like mumble to me. I didn't hear nothing that was just said.
Go ahead, Jay.
No, I was just saying exactly what your point was where you just said it like that. You gonna let us talk, and I'm gonna do the same to y'all. If we get like 7 or 8 matches on this card, it's not gonna hurt, to cut it down by a certain time as far as show time, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna need to eat some dinner. We're talking about doing a show during lunchtime, late lunchtime. So we need some time to get our dinner, order our food, cook, whatever we gotta do. Make sure we get last minute stuff, I'm trying to give us some time in between. So even if you're not gonna watch the pre-show or whatever, we need that time. Trust me, we need some type of time. Even if it's a potty break, we need some type of time.
To be continued in our chat. Go ahead, Shane, with SmackDown.
Well, regardless, we're going to have an awesome 2 weeks. Best believe that, regardless. Before we continue, I want to play this quick message from Drew for Drew says.
Like, probably, y'all could have segments where each person talks like for 5 minutes. Each person you give them a 5-minute window to get the point across. Then you got a segment where each person has like a minute to get a point across. Like you have different segments where, all right, this segment everybody have a 5-minute response. Like if you need 5 minutes, you have it. Or this segment is like a 1-minute response. When you do that, you keep the show moving, and so like you say, you want to drag the show if you're trying to like have like a show with a good flow. You got 5-minute segments and 1-minute segments. Each person have like a 1-minute time to respond.
In that situation, what I try to do is I don't always let everybody speak. I might just throw it to one person and be like, okay, you just speak on that. And then we can just move on. So this is not to you guys, Shane and Jay. This is just Drew. And, we all do it pretty much. We keep a similar format, even though each show is different, but we all respect the time. And all of us, typically, we either keep the shows at allotted time or under it. So I believe in us.
Yeah, please, you're doing good. And enough. And Des, you're the super show. Like it's official that our Monday episodes are the super shows. But we have the most amount of time, and you have the most amount of guests, and we talk about the most matches, and we talk about the most of WWE. So, we on there, we have fun, we have a lot to talk about, and we have a lot of people that joins in, that tunes in, and it's our super show. So, I'm happy with exactly what the 3 program gives to the audience. It's 3 different shows with 3 different guests, with 3 different perspectives, with 3 different formats, and it all works perfectly well to me. So.
And Shane, the best part about it all is we only have 15 minutes to put that shit together before we go live, because we don't know what's going to happen on the programs that we watch. So that's the most amazing part of it. We only have 15 minutes to put what we watched for 2 or 3 hours all together and make another 2 or 3 hour podcast after that. So that's amazing to you guys. Great job.
Yeah, that's right, everybody. We watch the show, and then when the show ends, we have that little time frame to get ourselves together, get our notes together. I know for like myself, I have to, close out like in my kitchen, and I gotta take a shower and then sit here and get my studio and stuff here set up. We got only 15 minutes. Tonight we had about 18 minutes because SmackDown ended a little early. But yeah, we have 15 minutes to give you guys this awesome shows, including this show that we are still on, as we still talking about SmackDown. Let's go into the locker room for a little pep talk, for a little inspiration, for you go, girl. For we see in Bianca, she's getting herself ready for her match because guess what? She's main eventing tonight. And look who comes, her bestie Naomi. You got this, girl. Look, man, you got this. And you need me. I got your back. Look, she turns around and she got EST in her hair. It was so cool. It's just all sister love. And just, in case you feel down, get you a Naomi in your team. That's what you need. So let's go into the match. We're being introduced to match number 3, which is another tag team qualifying match for this 6-pack of something match at Mania, where we have New Koch Republic versus, how Des says, LDF. But before that match started, we go backstage, and Judgment Day is here. And Dom comes in because we saw him earlier in the ring. And when Dom gets with Judgment Day, he goes,
I told you, communication is key. Why don't you tell me you're going out there? Mommy, I'm sorry. I wanted to make you proud. I wanted to make the Judgment Day proud. I wanted to handle business for us. I'm sorry. Hey, is there anything else you need to tell us? Yeah, I think I need to go see a doctor. Sorry. I know where it is. Come on, medical's down here. I'll bring you. Sorry, Mommy. I'll bring you.
You know what? This WrestleMania is way too important, not only for us as a group, but for us as individuals.
Is there something that you need to tell me?
Whoa. The only thing that needs to be said is that WrestleMania is going to belong to the Judgment Day.
I like that. Yeah. That's right.
Jay, I'm going to start with you, and then Des to follow. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button. Jay, I'm going to start with you and Des to follow on that segment. do we get the feeling that something big is going to happen here with Judgment Day after Mania? Seems like to me there's a lot of lack of communication and a lot of talking outside of the Judgment Day circle. Do you see that also, Jay and Dez? Or is there something that you see that you want to mention?
I'm kind like I was saying earlier, I'm kind of seeing the Dom split up, but at the same time, I'm also getting that drift where I was saying it a couple of weeks ago, where maybe Rhea just takes Dom and JD as her two little henchmen to do her little dirty work or whatever, and move on while Finn probably goes back to singles or he stays with attached to Priest. You know, like that's what I was kind of getting by it because Dom kind of played that off like, oh, I need a doctor, and JD goes with him. And at the same time, Damien's already looking at the brighter picture ahead of his tag team match, which gets me to think that they're not retaining at Mania because he's talking about individual stuff now. And the only thing that we could think about individual is him cashing in that money in the bank at Mania. You know, there's a lot to be talked about with that, a lot to be played with. And, you know, we could have guessed something eventually happening where there's either the split or the full breakup.
Dez, do you
I'm
have
sorry.
any
No,
comment?
no, I'm sorry because I'm actually because I missed this scene because you know me and you spoke about it and I was like I completely I was behind on the show the whole time I didn't know, but actually there was more in the clip that you played. There was more that was shown before that, and Rhea was saying like what's going on. She said, "Did any of you guys know that Dom was going to do that?" Like, and they're all like, "No, no," and then Damien was like, so Dom didn't tell you that he was going to do that?" And Rhea was like, "No." And he was like, "Hold up. Is that Rhea? Is there something that you need to tell us?" And I'm like, you know, Damien's insinuating like, are they going to break up? Are they, you know, are they having issues? And then that's when Dom came in and then the clip that you played started from there. So everybody is just like questioning everybody because everybody's seeming to have an individual, you know, things that they want to accomplish except for Finn, who we all thought was the leader of Judgment Day in the beginning. And he grounded everybody, well, at least Rhea and Damien, and said, look, you know, the goal is that Judgment Day comes out on top at WrestleMania. Like that's what the goal is overall. So it's very interesting how this, you know, first off, that this is happening on SmackDown out of all places. You know, they're barely on SmackDown, even though they have the titles for that show. And Jay, I mean, you called this. You've called most of this whole situation with Judgment Day as far as like the power struggle between Damien and Rhea, and then Rhea coming up as the leader, and then Damien again trying to assert himself. And now, you know, I wrote it in my notes. I'm like, Judgment Day breakup coming? Question mark. And then it's like, you know, I can see Rhea, JD, and Dom doing their thing. And if they don't go solo, I can still see Finn and Damien staying together, especially if, you know, well, not if they lose the tag belts, but I mean, if they remain champions. But yeah, like if there was a rift in the breakup, then I can see it going that way as well. Shane?
You know what? You know what? Some crazy
Oh,
thing
Jay.
does with the way you're just mentioning all of that. I can
Mm-hmm.
see Finn. I can see Finn branching off, right? They also have a PLE. I think coming up in like Berlin or in England somewhere. If I'm not mistaken, down the line. And I wouldn't be too surprised if we get a Gunther versus Finn match down the line. I could see something like that happening.
I think Backlash is the next pay-per-view that's going out of country. I'm not
Okay,
100%
okay.
sure though, but I believe it's Backlash. Shane?
Yes, correct. You have Backlash in France. That's in May 4th, according to this schedule. Yeah, May
Shane,
4th.
Shane, did you see the entire segment, like including what I mentioned as far as like when they first came on the air and Rhea asking the guys as a whole, like, did y'all know anything about this?
No, I remember that, but this was the clip that I got from Twitter. This is the only clip that I saw. That's why I played that clip, and it was from the beginning of the clip that was shared. So
Right.
I'm glad
So
that you mentioned and that you just said.
no problem. So, but what's your take on it? Like, I mean, you're here with us on Mondays. Like, how do you feel about what we saw?
I mean, yeah, there is something brewing that's going on, but again, there's I need you as my tag teamer here when we say make it make sense.
Make
Because
it
so
make
far,
sense.
as of right now, as we speaking, I totally understand why Dom would kind of veer away. Because now he's dealing with Santos because they're dealing with his father. And during that little promo that they had in the ring, I don't know if you caught it, but Ray said that he despised both Santos and Dom.
Yeah.
That's a very heavy statement for you to say to your son.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine what can your son possibly do for you to stand at your son's face, Des and Jay, or any young person that you help raise, and they did something so severe that you would actually look them in the eye and say that you despise them? That's heavy.
Shame. But this whole Judgment Day thing with Dom started with his dad. So it's like you see him stepping away from them to handle that, even though they were the reason why he left his pops. Like literally the whole thing between Rhea, Finn, and Damian was the reason why Dom left his pops. So it's like, wouldn't you expect him to include them in it because they've been like, that's how it all started.
Right, but it seems to me that out of the two, that it's it's Legato. They're the ones that is currently fighting Ray, or a thorn on Ray's ass, as opposed to Judgment Day. They're not doing hardly anything to him. So this would be a good time for Dom to make that move for Santos in terms of dealing with Ray. Oh, you're back from injury? Oh, let us come and re-injure you. You
Do you think?
despise me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that they feel like he's trying to leave Judgment Day to go to LDF? Like that's why they're like, what's going on here? Because he was standing with them.
Yeah, yeah. Like because that was the question. Like there was a big question mark, like just hovering over that whole segment. Because they're like, wait, is Dom leaving? And then even before that happened, there was like, what, Rhea, are you leaving? And then before the end of the segment, Rhea had to look and was like, whoa, wait, Damien, are you trying to leave? So there's a whole lot of, and you can tell that something was about to hit because Finn jumped in and said, let's just focus on, like he tried to veer away from what was about to happen with them too. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to get too deep into this because again, see, that's what we started. We started yet another in-depth story that can last for like for 2 hours, and we still got so much SmackDown to talk about. But it's a deep conversation. No, it's fine. I'm sure we're going to talk about this, especially next week. And I would say next week because we would get more questions. We're gonna get more questions that we need answers for. And I
Yeah,
think
by
those questions will be
Monday.
answered. Right. And those questions will be answered at Mania. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see that. So it's a date, Des. We're gonna talk about this more on your super show on Monday.
Lord have mercy. We got the damn bloodline coming. We got freaking CM Punk. We got Trish Rollins. We got LeBron. Lord have mercy. I don't know what to do. I think I might take the night off, guys.
Like I said, if we have to, we will go live wherever you run to. We're gonna find you. I'm gonna trace your phone. I'm gonna get the find Des Taker's phone. I will put that on my phone. We're gonna find you and we're gonna do a live show.
Jay, I'm going to Jersey, Jay. I'm going to Jersey. You can't find me there.
Oh boy.
Oh God, what's in Jersey?
Yeah, Des, what's in Jersey?
My escape. I have no reception to do podcasts in Jersey.
Oh boy.
You'll be getting Wi-Fi from somewhere, so we'll know you're somewhere.
When that timer goes off at 11:15 and I'm not there, I called out sick.
When you see both of us taking pictures inside the Barclays, being like, "Yeah, we with the Rock right now." Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
I called the executives. I'm calling out sick on Monday. I don't feel good already.
But not for nothing, fellas. I hope
Drew's hearing this.
Yes. Drew heard that, so hey man, you're on your own there. But not for nothing, fellas. If you're talking about being at Barclay this coming Monday, you better have your nickels and dimes together because the worst seat in the house is $145. And that's before, quote unquote wink wink SeatGeeks other fees that they add on to it. So you're talking about almost $200 for the worst seat in the house.
Hard pass. Hard pass. I'll just no. I'll be outside.
Mhm. I'm going to play this quick message by Lawan, and then I have a question for you guys. Lawan says,
Why would Dom need to tell them that they was going out there if they had a TV in their room and they're watching everything that's going on in the arena? I'm pretty sure that these guys saw what was going on in the arena because they was watching everything else. You mean to tell me they missed what the hell Dom was doing and how he got beat up? That sounds fishy.
No, Lawan. I think Lawan. What they're saying is they were there to scout the last two matches of the qualifier to see who was going to be in the match. It wasn't. They didn't know that the whole Santos segment was going to happen. That's why it was like, well, did he tell you about that? Did you know? Like, did you know? So that's what I think that was. Not, obviously they found out while watching. They're like, what the hell? He said he'll be right back, but he didn't say that he was going down the ringside and all this other shit. Like, what? Yeah, Shane?
while I have your attention, Des, let's quickly talk about match number 3, which was a qualifying match between New Koch Republic and LDF. Des and then Jay to follow. What were your thoughts on this match? And this was right after this Judgment Day clip.
At this point, I just thought there's no reason for why New Catch Republic doesn't win. It serves them no, I'm sorry, LDF, but you guys are only good when you're going against LWO. And other than that, you guys are trash. And it's not your fault. But we already knew that Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates were going to win because of the fact that they asked to get a rematch at the Judgment Day. So, just like how OC has to do it, they had to go through the gauntlet just to get to that rematch, which is now a part of the 6-pack, ladder match. So, yeah, I wasn't surprised at the outcome of this. Took a few notes. Again, these matches on SmackDown were few and far between, but they were also very short. So I like that double press slam from the middle rope that LDF does. It's pretty cool, especially when they have the nice camera angle behind them. That DDT that was done to one of the guys of LDF was like, that one right there looked a little bit like, damn, did he actually spike him or well, he just sold the hell out of that. It was good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. Jay, what's up? What you got?
Well, like with you, I didn't take too many notes, but what I did like in the match was the fact that when Bate was going full speed and he ran on top of the ropes and gave Son a Euro uppercut, I thought that was fire. And the fact that, they do acknowledge Bate as being pound for pound one of the strongest guys in the company, if not the strongest. And that's kind of a big bump for him. So, I also like the fact that the part where Bate jumped on top of Dunn and backflipped off of him onto them. I thought that was fire. And then also the powerbomb by Umberto I liked. And the moonsault that Garza did to follow, that was cool. And then that Birminghammer to win the match for the New Catch Republic, shit, that's a hot finisher. I give it to them. They really worked together in the ring, and you kind of already, like Des said, you kind of already knew that the New Catch Republic will win because these guys just got into a melee with LWO. So, they really didn't get to display everything but a few moves. And the few moves that they did were all right. It was short, quick match. Good. It was good while it lasted. The crowd was into it. They was in and out. But overall, it was a pretty all right match.
Jay, you lied. You had way more notes than I did, bro. Damn. Shout out to Jay.
Nah, bro. Look, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 lines. Basically, I freestyled the rest.
Yeah, I was about to say because I only wrote 2 things down and then the winner. But yeah, that's I think the matches tonight. I don't know. Maybe it was because they've been trying to introduce this whole WWE speed thing. Was that maybe that was the goal of tonight, that that they can do these quick matches and kind of make it okay and like interesting.
Jay?
You could go. I already see you you was already talking.
No. You can answer that question, and then I was gonna move on once you answer that question.
Well, Des, repeat that question again.
I was saying that with Shane. I was saying that with how fast most of these matches went tonight. Do you think that it was deliberately done that way because they've been this entire week they've been promoting that new show on X, aka Twitter, WWE Speed, where the matches are supposed to be 3 minutes or less. So do you think this was deliberately done, or do you think it's just because they just didn't have shit because the bloodline wasn't there?
I would say the second part to what you said because it just felt different throughout the night as far as the way everything went, and with this type of match, you know, maybe it was like what nothing but a 7 to 8 minute match, if that, which was all right, and we got to see these guys display what they had to display real fast, real clean, and good. We didn't see too many mistakes in the match, which is a good thing, and I like that when I'm watching these type of matches. So you can also see that these guys have worked together a lot, but on both sides with Humberto and Garza, with Dumpy and family, and with the history that Dunn has with Bate.
So with that being said, with all that awesome feedback from the fellas at the table regarding this match, was team number 5. And now we have our full match, the 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. You got Wall in Theory, The Awesome Truth, DIY, The New Day, New Kutch Republic, and of course the current title holders, the Judgment Day. So I'll ask you the question next week in terms of who you think is going to win that match. That's going to be our SmackDown episode next week. I'm going to ask for you guys predictions as to winners for Mania, and for everyone out there that's listening also to tune in and give us your picks for the winners of both nights. Speaking of winner, I have a speech from one of the greatest that can speak on the mic. Let's go backstage for Paul Heyman has something quick, fast to say.
By orders of the tribal chief. When you hear those words, you know something is about to happen. What do you think happened to Cody Rhodes on Monday? The final boss took out Cody Rhodes. Why? By orders of the tribal chief.
And by these orders, Jay, you don't make it to WrestleMania. It will be Little Brother versus Little Big Brother by orders of the tribal chief. Jay, I'll see you next week. I'm gonna miss you.
So, for next week's SmackDown, we're going to have Jay versus Solo. We're also going to have the KO show with special guest Randy Orton. We're going to have New Catch Republic going against Theory and Grayson. We're going to have Zelina Vega versus Elektra Lopez because they started their little tiff tonight. We're going to have a full match for them next week. And believe it or not, there's going to be this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So wait a minute, it's going to be on SmackDown and not at Mania. Dez and Jay, quick, fast. What are your thoughts on that? For something like this is not a regular match. This is a battle royal, and then at the end, don't you get like this huge trophy with Andre the Giant on it? Quick, fast. Are you surprised, Dez and Jay, that we're having this on a SmackDown rather than a Mania?
No, because I believe they did it last year that way as well. It was on SmackDown where Bobby Lashley won that tournament, and then I believe he showed up on WrestleMania the next day, and they were touting that he was the winner of that competition.
It is what it is, and this is what I say. What you saying about Bobby, like I honestly kind of feel like he's gonna be defending this next week, and we're gonna get the Karrion Kross bullshit with him in there again. Like I said, we're gonna have it 2 Rumbles in a row where there's no movement with that. But just to answer the question, I think it's actually cool to have it like that because it's like the beginning of a kickoff show for us. They're giving us a little teaser for it because the manias that I went to and the manias that we've all seen the past 5 to 7 years, maybe 10, we've gotten this Andre the Giant Battle Royal being either, a first match, a pre-show match, or maybe a mid-show match. So now that we're getting it on SmackDown, we just know next Friday, the only bloodline thing happening is Jay and Solo, and the Roman situation and The Rock is going to be taking place on Monday. So we'll more than likely get way more wrestling on next Friday, than what we'll be getting Monday, because it seems like Monday's gonna be a lot more talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jay's extended remix as to a short answer question. Thank you, Jay, for that very long-winded answer to a short question. But yeah, you make a lot of sense. At least you make a lot of sense. And since you are on a talking roll, I want to jog your head quick fast with this in-ring with AJ Styles and LA Knight. Remember what happened during that segment? If you explain, not too long, but explain like in good enough detail so we know what's going on between these two guys, Jay.
More or less, AJ's blaming the fans and LA Knight for coming to his house during this little segment, and he's like, well, I got bigger plans. We gotta take this to the biggest spotlight, being Mania, and you're overachieving. You're under talented. And he's like, I know you're here. I know you're somewhere. Are you in the crowd? Are you the cameraman? He's making the cameraman look stupid. And then he tells him like, yeah, you look better than him anyway. So he gets him, to tell him to get out the ring. And then, a guy in a black hoodie appears, and he thought it was him, and it wasn't him. So he escorts him out, and he was like, yo, stop playing games with me, LA Knight. Stop playing these games. And the whole time, LA Knight is standing right there next to Michael Cole and just chilling, playing the post. And he has, his hat, his toupee, takes it off. And here we go. He takes him in the ring. Stone Cold stomps him about 10 or 15 times, grabs the chair, and and AJ leaves the ring. And then, LA Knight grabs the mic and is like, talking about AJ's the biggest piece of trash. He's a waste. You could want to run. You want to hide. Well, I'll get you at Mania. And everybody will know whose game this is come WrestleMania, and it's LA Knight. Yeah.
Des, your thoughts on that segment?
I don't think there's anything else to say. I mean, he said everything that needed to be said about that segment. He hit all the points. I'm just ready for the match. I have nothing else to add to that. He said everything that needed to be said. I'm just ready for the match. Shane, back to you.
You know what? I want to give a 3-bell salute to the Titantron. That Titantron worked tonight. I mean, it really did work tonight. It was good to see the Titantron being a character tonight. So shout out to you, man. Hope they use it more, because it adds more to the story for me anyway. Des, could you, well, after that, there was a video package of Tiffy time. Tiffy, she was, bragging, and, she was talking, and we all love her. And as of right now, I don't think she's in Mania. So I don't know what this video package meant or what it was trying to tell us, unless you, Des, or Jay saw something. Other than that, I just saw a video pack of somebody that we already know is pretty good.
It's just they're just trying to remind you that she's on the show. We haven't seen her on the show competing in a few weeks. I think she might have been in a segment last week, backstage with Bianca and Naomi after they got beat down by Damage Control or something. Maybe that was 2 weeks ago. But yeah, she hasn't been shown on the show, after the whole run that she had in the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber. So they're just trying to remind you, like, okay, don't forget that she's still here, and after we get past WrestleMania, she'll be back on the show. So that's what I got out of it.
Okay, and now that you mention it, okay, good, because I like Tifa. I like Tifa time. We all do here. Before we continue, let's play these quick messages. Luan and Drew.
Yeah, it could have, because that happened in between the Street Profits losing and the other tag team qualifying match. That was in between the LAW promo was between the Street Profits match and that other tag team match, and they both watched both of those matches. That's why I was like, that sounds fishy.
Shout out to Lawan's TV, who was also trying to put in their 2 cents. Drew also says,
I actually missed it. What did he say? I was doing something on my phone. I was listening to something. What did he say?
Oh, Jay, I guess that's when Dez had said something that he shouldn't have said dealing with work. I guess that's what Drew was asking, because that was a old message. I apologize to you, Lawan and Drew, for playing your messages so late. But let's keep it moving. Dez, I'm going to start with you, and then Jay to follow. Let's talk about our main event. This was match number 4. Bianca Belair versus Dakota Kai with the interesting Batista entrance that she did. I don't know if you guys caught that. But Dez and then Jay to follow. What are your thoughts on this match tonight? Dez and
My
then Jay to follow.
apologies, my apologies, Shane, because I sent you a message, but I'm gonna need you to start with Jay first, okay?
Yes, you could start with me. And, you know, with this being the main event of the night, I actually was like, you know what? They're feeding us a slow stirred beef, and it's cool because we got to be having a lot of these women's matches that are coming up. This, I'm one that's excited for the women's division, and Bianca was doing a thing most of the match. Dakota had maybe one or two moves that I found that was kind of cool. You know, like a little suplex and then her little stomp that she did off the ropes when she jumped off of it. I thought that was cool. But other than that, that KOD, holy shit, she really put the beats on her with that. I think that KOD is so devious, the way she just drops you face first when she does it. And it was cool during the match where they showed the top five women's females, the top women that have actually played in 2K, which it was Rhea, Bianca, Becky, Asuka, and Trish. What a surprise! We see what the fans like. That was cool. And you know, the other thing I liked from Dakota was a little scorpion kick as well. And after Bianca won her match, when they came to jumper and everything, this little pirate princess chick wants to hit these people with umbrellas. Are you kidding me? That little umbrella? You try your ass off with it, but then here comes Miss Jade Cargill to come in there and single-handedly just take everybody out one by one. And she did it with pizzazz. The strength she displayed was ridiculous. As if when she just she took poor little girl and just almost put it right through the mat. Like that's the feeling I got when she just threw her to the floor. And now you see we got our 3-on-3 matchup heading into Mania with this. As we were talking about earlier about this match and having a little laugh about it before the show. Huh. This is gonna be a good one, fellas.
So yeah, I did you hey Jay, what was your thoughts on that the final image of Bianca Belair and Naomi and Jade standing in the ring as they was doing like this stare down with damage control? Like how cool was that image?
I liked it because it shows you like they're united and the other group is there and they're not gonna stand down without a fight. And the fact also that it ended Women's History Month with the women getting it on, that puts a smile to my face because we've seen the slow evolution that these women are getting as well. So, all I could see was just three strong ass women in the ring that if they were a real faction, shit, nobody could beat them three together as far as females. The way they would dominate, shit. I'll be hyped for that shit.
For me, when I saw that, I said, look at that black girl magic right there. I was like, wow. When was the last time WWE had something like that for our sister, our mom, our aunt, grandmother to actually see on TV in a WWE ring? Three strong black women standing there working together. When was the last time, if ever, has that ever happened in WWE? That was a statement right there. That was something incredible to see. Now, I don't want them to be a tag team or a faction because I would love to still see Jade and Naomi build up their individual, situations because they're still fresh to the WWE audience. But I mean, wow, that was something amazing and something that I believe we here on the Three Bells, or probably everybody else did. We said it last week. We expected Jade to show up tonight and be a part of this storyline as the fourth member of whatever. But I mean, man, Shane, Jay, wow, that was something amazing to witness and something amazing to see. I don't have any thoughts on the match. I gladly give my time up on the match to Jay. Shane, you seem to enjoy the match. If you want, you can go ahead and talk about the match. But after the match, to me, was just like, wow, them standing there like that. Just Naomi was smiling ear to ear. It was beautiful to see that, man. That was beautiful. That's a screensaver. If we're back in the 90s and the early 2000s, you would have that image as your screensaver on your computer.
Yo, Des.
Yo,
Now you know the other day when you was telling me like we're in the MCU world. Do you look
yeah.
at them? Do you look at them three as like one of them being like a She-Hulk and the other two playing the sisters that's beside Thanos?
I'll put it more in the actual MCU. I would put it as one is two of them are the sisters from Guardians of Galaxy, and then I'll go with Valkyrie from Thor. You feel me?
Okay, I feel you on that one.
Only because She-Hulk was like a joke recently in the MCU universe, so I don't want to. I get the muscles and everything, but as far as like badass, yeah, I'll give it to the two sisters of. Matter of fact, no, I'll do it. I'll do you one more. I'll tell you that Jade is the Captain Marvel, and then Bianca is Valkyrie, and then Naomi is Gamora, because that's even stronger for me. Yeah, I like that even better. Yeah, I'll take that. You like that, Jay?
Yes, I do, my friend. I love it.
That's even better. That's a stronger team than that first thing I threw out. Hell yeah. Shane?
Cool, man. Cool. So we shall see. I have a feeling that they're going to be together for Mania. Why not? I mean,
Actually,
there's the
actually, I have breaking news that was broken. Matter of fact, we'll do it in your news clips. We'll do it in your news clips. We'll do it in your news clips.
You know, your timing is amazing because guess what? It is, in fact, time for us to move over to the news desk portion of the Three Bells table. We are doing news clips. I'm going to start, and then Des is going to follow, and then Jay is going to follow in case they have news clips. So, NXT's Battleground event. It is going to be moved from May 26th till Sunday, June 9th. And its location was supposed to be Savannah, Georgia. But guess what? It's going to be moved to Las Vegas at the UFC Apex. For those of you who know, UFC is the brother of WWE, and they are both sons to one TKO. So it's official, everyone, because you know with PLEs, the main event is usually a title match. But in the case of NXT Stand and Deliver, their main event is Trick and Mellow for Stand and Deliver. It was just announced this week on the NXT WWE site as well as Triple H. So congratulations, Trick and Mellow, for being main eventers. So remember on Raw where we had that awesome opener, and then we had that awesome match between Jey Uso and Shinsuke Nakamura, as well as that amazing little thingy that happened backstage with The Rock and Cody? Guess who produced that? Michael Hayes and Bobby Roode. That's right. They both produced that amazing, amazing night. So, Bobby, if you're thinking about either going in the ring or staying where you are as a producer, dude, stay as a producer. Des, I'm going to start with you. Do you have any additional news? And then Jay to follow?
Yes. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Mundo, a.k.a. Mr. A.k.a. himself, doing a news clips. I have 3. Number 1, it was breaking news over the week. WWE has made an overture, a.k.a. a proposal, to Stone Cold Steve Austin to appear at WrestleMania 40. It's juicy. Also, during his 6 Foot Under podcast, The Undertaker believes that the most logical person to have broken the WrestleMania streak would have been Bray Wyatt. He felt that it would have did his career much better than it did Brock Lesnar and even Roman Reigns, our tribal chief. And also, breaking news from our guy, your guy, my tag team partner, the one, it has been made official for WrestleMania. It will be Damage Control versus Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair. That's what I have for you tonight. Back to you, Shane, in the studio.
Jay, you have anything to add before we move on?
Yes, sir. I got something for you, and we got Mr. Ali Mustafa Ali, former wrestler, on the cover of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. He's all of a sudden now became, he's on fire right now. The indies are seeing bigger and better things from him. TNA's on fire with him. Kudos to him for being that guy right now, and hope he comes home one day. You know, and also there was something that I had caught earlier, but I can't quite remember it. Oh man, it was something with Becky, and I forgot what she had said. It was something about, yeah, it was about CM Punk and his return catching,
I got you.
Seth off guard.
Yeah, I got you, Jay. You want me to you want to tag me in? I got you.
Go ahead, tag.
All right. So, by the way, Becky's been making rounds all week because she released her new book, I'm Not Your Average Girl. And she has a lot of inserts, and that's been, causing a lot of speculation. But she mentioned that the return of CM Punk at this past Survivor Series was done at such a last minute that nobody knew about it. None of the top talent knew. And Seth Rollins felt disrespected by WWE by them not telling him that they were in discussion and closed the deal with CM Punk. So the reaction that we got from Seth Rollins that night was legit. He was legitimately pissed off. Shane, back to you.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Des, for giving us those awesome news clips. And I'm thinking about, that moment. I mean, wow, Seth was really pissed. I don't think I've ever seen Seth so pissed off. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I mean, if you ever seen him more pissed off than that, but I haven't. I mean, he was livid when he saw CM Punk come out. I was like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, see, they couldn't have showed that on TV. That's why, we didn't get that. All we saw was CM Punk. If I think that was beyond the PG limits, so they couldn't turn the camera and show him giving up middle fingers and saying "fuck you" and all this. Like, that shit was awesome.
Yeah, that was amazing to see. Just like my most favorite part of the. Yes.
I'm sorry, but do you see? Look at our listeners. Look at our listeners' area. You see Lawan and RJ. You see their pictures?
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Okay.
So apparently, these three strong black women, are pointing at the WrestleMania sign together, and so we should be seeing video of this soon if it's not already up.
Of course. Yeah, it should have. I'm sure it was up before these guys posted it on their page. So, oh yeah, this is gonna spread real quickly, especially that one of them pointing. That is a very powerful picture right there. You should get that, Des.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. That is beautiful. Hennessy bottle. Wow.
Wow. And I don't need a calendar.
But seriously, like, I know it sounded like a rhetorical question, but I was actually serious. Like, when have we seen something like that before in WWE? I don't think I've ever seen three strong black women, and they're not bad guys on top of that, like, together in one ring. Like, bro.
That is awesome. And may I say,
I was gonna say we probably only got two of them in the ring like that back in the days, and that was probably Jazz and I forgot who else it was. Jacqueline, I think.
Yeah, Jazz. She was the one that always said, "I'm the best." Sound like she needed a cigarette. I'm the best. Mm-hmm. And Miss Big Shirt, Jacqueline. Yeah. And she wants to come back to wrestling. She's like, "Hey man, if you need me, I could come back." Trish came back and Lita came back. I can come back. She's still in shape and she's able. So we'll see. That would be a good present, as in birthday present, as in our favorite segment of the night. Happy birthdays. If you're celebrating a birthday this week, we like to say happy birthday to everyone. For you're also celebrating with the superstars. C.J. Perry, also known as Lana. She's 39. Some may know him as Jack Swagger. Some of you may know him as Jake Hager. He's 42. And then, of course, our guy, Mr. a.k.a. Mundo, his guy, Death Taker, The Undertaker. He's 59. And Lacey Evans. I like the country girl better than the militant one. She turns 33. And Jay just praised his name, Mustafa Ali. What a week he's having. And it's also his birthday. He turns 38. And I just spoke about this guy producing one of the most awesomest segments in Raw so far. Producer Michael Hayes. He can retire if he wants to. He just turned 65. And part of our Hall of Fame class of 2024, Mike Rotunda, also known as IRS or Mr. Wall Street. He turned 66. And then let's give our heavenly birthdays to Edward Smith for 2. You may know him as Umaga or Jamal from 3 Minute Warning. Born 1973 and then passed in 2009, at the age of 36. And everything is perfect with this guy, Kurt Pennings, Mr. Perfect. Born 1958 and passed away in 2003 at the age of 44. Those are your birthdays for this week. We'd like to say happy birthday to all of our superstars as well as the superstars in your hearts. Dad, start with you and then Jay to follow. Are there any birthdays or anniversaries you'd like to celebrate?
I just want to give a shout out to everybody who I wished happy birthday to on Facebook and Instagram this week. I don't have a list, but it's a shout out to all of y'all. And a special shout out to my best friend's cousin, my girl, my old hairstylist, my girl Tiffany. Happy birthday to you. Today is your birthday. I love you so much. Enjoy your weekend. Jay? Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Go ahead. Finish. You got the time.
It wasn't a birthday, but it was an anniversary. I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I don't even want to do it. No. Go ahead, Jay.
I was going to say the other birthdays in wrestling will include Christopher Daniels, Charlie Haas, and Warlord, as well as Zach Gowen. Many of you guys remember him as well. So, as well as happy 37th birthday to my little sister. I love you. And happy birthday to everybody else out there that's celebrating a birthday. Bless you all.
Happy birthday, Jay's little sister. Happy birthday.
Right. If I wish we knew her name. This is your little sister have a name. Give her a proper shout out, Jay. Come on now. Little sister.
That's what I call her as. I call her my little sister, but her name is Sylvia.
Let's go, Sylvia. Happy birthday from Jay in the 3 Bells.
Mm-hmm. That's it, Des? You don't remember? Like you give a shout out to something you don't remember?
No. I was actually, it's an anniversary. It's Good Friday for a reason. I was just going to give a holy shout out to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for what he did for all of us. And I didn't want to get too holy and churchy on here today, but it is Easter weekend, so why not? Let's give a shout out to Jesus.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. It's still cool, right, Jay? Nothing wrong with that.
Yes, sir. All praise to the man above.
Happy birthday, happy anniversaries to one and all. All right, so that is our show. But before we go, we have to ask the one last question. The 3 Bells match and or moment of the night. Jay, we're going to start with you and then Des to follow to answer that question.
Well, my match of the night, honestly, if I'm going to have to go and pick it, I would say it's the New Catch Republic against Garza and Humberto. And the only reason why I'm picking it is because Tyler Bate, that boy is something else. And I just love everything that they're bringing to the ring as far as the cohesion as a tag team. And, they're showing us that they are contenders for the belts and why they should be in that situation. And my move, I would say move of the night, and I said it a few minutes ago, that KOD by Bianca Belair tonight. That shit was crazy. And in a tie, I will also say that Jade Cargill won as well.
Dash.
Shane, aren't you supposed to give him his 3 bells?
I don't understand why you act like you don't have bells yourself in case I missed.
This is not my show. What are you talking about?
That's what you show. The bells and said, yeah, I would have said, wow, thank you. Instead of,
It's all love. But look,
It's called shade. You see, you call your shade love. You know,
It is not shade. What are you talking about? I think I did this.
It is shade.
I think you were my honorary.
him something.
I didn't say you. No. I didn't say you forgot. I just said Shane. You got to give him his 3 bells.
See,
And I
you said my
remember
name.
Shane.
See, that's shade. See, Shane.
No.
Shade.
Look. How about you be more clear next time? Because Monday I asked you to be my honorary bell giver during this segment. So if you want me to do it, I'll do it for you. It's not a problem. I got you.
No, I mean, if I forget,
we're holding hands
you
together.
have the button.
One band, one sound. But you guys just let me know when to make the sound. Because I don't want us to clash. But anyway, see, I can't say nothing right on this show. I swear I get attacked with everything I say. God damn. And I'm the bad guy. Where's Mars at?
You
Mars,
don't shade it, then you play victim when you're caught, when you're told of your shade.
I literally was not throwing shade. I legitimately was not. I didn't tell y'all tonight. Des Taker was not here at all tonight. So anyway, my match of the night, I gotta agree with Jay. Only because of the fact that we didn't have shit to really pick from. One match ended in some stupid ass shit. The other match was interference, and it really didn't matter. It didn't, there was no meaning to the match anyway. So yeah, I go with that qualifier match with New Catch Republic versus the LDF. Only because of the fact that I like New Catch Republic, and no matter who their opponents are, they're gonna give 100%. And like I told y'all earlier, they want that rematch for the tag titles, so of course they're gonna bring it tonight. I don't really have a moment of the night, but I guess I'll just fake one and say my moment of the night was this. Matter of fact, no, I'm lying. Well, no, I'm lying. Yeah, I do have a moment of the night now that I think about it, because I've just been harping on it for the last 20 minutes. So my moment of the night is seeing Bianca, Jade, and Naomi standing there at the end of SmackDown. Because I don't think I've ever been any prouder to be black. And the fact that they allowed that to happen tonight, somebody actually said, we want, regardless of their gender, we want 3 black people to stand in the middle of the ring and be prosperous. That means a lot to me. Whether it's Black History Month or Women's History Month, that meant a lot. So that's my 3 bells match and moment of the night.
Cool beans. My match for tonight, of course, I'm going to agree with the homies here on the panel and say New Catch Republic versus LDF. It's always a joy to see these guys, the New Catch. They always put on a good performance, no matter where they are, no matter what the event. Just tell them when and where, and they are there, and they're going to give you top shelf all the time. So shout out to them on that. And yeah, we didn't have too much to pick, but they gave us reason to pick them. And of course, I agree with Des in terms of the moment of tonight. You see the 3 girls, Naomi, Jade, and Bianca, to stand there, and they just stood so strong. That was the thing that really, really captured me. The fact that they just stood there strong and united, and they gave so much positive vibes. And to let every girl out there know, especially black girls, know, hey, this could be you. This is you. This will be you. You could be right here with us. You could be at a higher level than us. Let us be your inspiration. And that's why this picture here, we even looking at the picture of them pointing. You could use that point for anything besides the WWE Mania sign. The sky's the limit, girl. It's the limit. I absolutely love that picture. And that, my friends, is my 3 bells match and moment of the night. That is our show for tonight, everyone. We'd like to thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are way over time, but I'm glad that you had a good time with us. I know I did, always hanging out with the homies. Any final words? Any goodbyes? Starting with Jay and then ending with Dez. But me, your homie, it's Shane O'Mac, coming to you live from the 3 Bells Podcast East New York section of the table, saying thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy and have a safe and awesome Easter weekend. Forget Prom Sunday is this Sunday. But we hope to see you, everybody, again on Monday. This is your homie saying good fight, good night. Jay?
Yes, sir. First off, I would like to thank The listeners, everybody tonight, Lawan, Mysterio, Henny, Drew, bless y'all fellas, and bless my fellas at the table for making this show yet again a fabulous one. And let's have a great Easter weekend. Wrestling gave us a great ending tonight as far as ending Women's History Month on a high note. Salute to the women. And see y'all guys Monday. Yeet.
And for Jay, for Shane, all of our listeners, the black women who stood up tonight and stood proud tonight, thank y'all. The producer that produced that segment, thank you. Triple H for allowing that to happen, thank you. I just want to say thank you guys for another great week in the Three Bells journey that we're doing tonight, this week, and or just moving forward in general. So just want to thank everybody for continuing to join us. LaWarn, thank you for being here damn near every night. Drew, you too. I want to thank my cousin Tris Rollins for showing up. Just a reminder for everybody, we'll be back here Monday at 11:15 p.m. for the Three Bells podcast recap of Monday Night Raw. We got the Bloodline, we got The Rock, we got Cody, Seth, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, we got Becky, Rhea, we got LaWarn, we got Tris Rollins trying to get his chair back from LaWarn. We got a lot going on this Monday night. And of course, we got Triple J, Shane O'Mac, and your boy Mundo to referee it all. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you on Monday.
It's time to believe. Beat the odds up against you. Give life to your dreams. Life in the fast lane, holding on the wheel, overloaded.
And as always, no yeet.
Keep going. I'ma show them this is real.
Yeet, my guy.